Assalamu alaikum. This is Maria Zulfikar welcoming you all to the English news from BTV Chattogram. Let's begin with the headlines. Holy Ashura is being celebrated across the country with befitting manner. Tazia procession held in Dhaka and Chattogram. A malicious group is promoting BNP as anti-reform, opposing any reform proposal that will weaken the state structure is not opposing reform, says Mirza Fakhrul. Country must be rebuilt through justice, reform and formulation of a new constitution, says NCP convener Nahid Islam at a road march in Nagaon. Elon Musk announced a new political party named American Party. And Bangladesh defeated Sri Lanka by 16 runs in the second ODI in Colombo to level the series 1-1, upgrade to 9th in the ODI ranking. Viewers, those were the headlines. Now moving on to the details. Today is the 10th of Muharram, the holy day of Ashura. This day is a highly significant and mournful day for Muslims across the world. With the hope of receiving God's mercy and forgiveness, Muslims are observing the day through fasting, prayers, charity, and remembrance of Allah. On this day in the year 61 Hijri, the Prophet Muhammad's peace be upon him grandson, Hazrat Imam Hussain Rahmatullah Alai, along with members of his family, was brutally martyred on the banks of the Euphrates River in the desert of Karbala while standing for truth and justice. Hazrat Imam Hussain Rahmatullah Alai's supreme sacrifice to uphold the noble ideals of Islam, a religion of peace and harmony, remains a shining example in human history. The tragic incident of Karbala inspires people to stand against injustice and tyranny and encourages walking on the path of truth and righteousness. The Shia community commemorates the day through various rituals. Tazia procession is one of the rituals. Bangladesh Television and Bangladesh Betar have arranged special programs highlighting the significance of the day. National newspapers and online news portals have also published special supplements marking the importance of Ashura. The day is a public holiday. Holy Ashura commemorates many significant events of the universe, stands as a symbol of mourning and sacrifice for the Muslim Ummah. Among all the events, the martyrdom of Imam Hussain Rahmatullah Alai, the beloved grandson of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, on the ground of Karbala, is most profoundly remembered. Carrying the memory of that sorrow, the traditional Tazia procession brought out today from the historic Hosseini Dalan in Old Dhaka. From early morning, thousands gather at Hosseini Dalan, mourning and remembering the grief, pain, and ultimate sacrifice. Mourners express their sorrow through chest beating and laments. The procession becomes a moving tale of mourning in memory of Imam Hussain and his companions martyred on Karbala. The Tazia procession started from Hosseini Dalan. It moves through Chowk Bazar, Lalbagh and Azimpur and finally returned to the Hosseini Dalan. Tazia procession concluded peacefully, maintaining religious solemnity. Additional security forces were deployed during the procession to ensure security. This day holds deep spiritual significance for every Muslim. Many observe fasting and offer special prayers. Meanwhile, a morning procession was organized in Chattogram under the initiative of Hussain Trust Imam Burga. The morning procession was led by the Trust's Executive Committee President Mehdi Hossain Chaudhry and led by the Trust's Khatib Syed Firoz Ali Abedi. The morning procession, with the participation of women and men, circumambulation various important areas of Hali Shahar. BNP Secretary General Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir has alleged that a certain group is deliberately spreading propaganda against the BNP as anti-reformist. He said this while addressing a press conference at the party office in Gulshan today. Fakhrul Islam said that opposing any reform proposal that would weaken the state structure is not opposing reform. The BNP is advancing the reform process for the country's interest, even it has to make compromises on many issues, he added. He said the BNP has agreed on most of the reforms proposed by the National Consensus Commission. Fakhrul Islam said a certain group is deliberately trying to propagate against the BNP's reforms. The National Citizen Party (NCP) is observing a month-long nationwide march in remembrance of the historic July mass uprising. Under the banner July March to Build the Nation, central leaders of the NCP are organizing street rallies and public relations meetings across the country. These events aim to engage with citizens, understand their expectations and discuss future political directions. NCP central leaders and activists held two separate rallies, one at Godagari Upazila and another at the Railgate area of Rajshahi city today. As part of the ongoing program, the NCP plans to hold additional rallies at key locations in Rajshahi, including New Market, Rani Bazar, Shagorpara, Alupotti, Shaheb Bazar, Rajshahi College, City College, Bata intersection, Rail Raj, Gonokpara, 0 Point, Rajshahi University and Katakhali. The party also plans to visit the families of the July martyrs as part of its commemorative activities. Earlier, on the fifth day of the march, NCP leaders organized rallies in Nagaon. Rallies were also held in Bogura and Jaipur Hat on Saturday. NCP convener Nahid Islam, Member Secretary Akhtar Hossain, and other central leaders addressed the gatherings, highlighting the party's commitment to political reform and national unity. The month-long July march began on 1st of July with a prayer at the grave of martyr Abu Said in Rangpur. Now, international news. Elon Musk says he is launching a new political party weeks after a dramatic falling out with US President Donald Trump. The billionaire announced on his social media platform X that he had set up the America Party and built it as a challenge to the Republican and Democratic two-party system. However, it is unclear whether the party has been formally registered with US election authorities, and Musk has not provided details about who will lead it or what form it will take. He first raised the prospect of launching a party during his public feud with Trump, which saw him leave his role in the administration and engage in a vicious public spat with his former ally. During that row, Musk posted a poll on X asking users if there should be a new political party in the US. Musk wrote today, "The America Party is formed to give American people back their freedom." The office of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has announced plans to send a negotiating team to Qatar for talks on a Gaza ceasefire proposal as Israeli forces continued to bombard the Palestinian enclave, killing at least 78 people in the past 24 hours. Netanyahu's office said the team would travel to the Qatari capital Doha on Sunday after the Israeli leader instructed negotiators to accept the invitation for close talks. But the statement said the changes Hamas is requesting to make to the Qatar proposal were delivered to US last night and are unacceptable to Israel. It did not elaborate on what changes were being requested. The announcement came after Hamas said on Friday that it had provided a positive response to a United States brokered proposal that would involve a 60-day truce in Gaza, renewing hopes of a possible end to Israel's deadly assault on the Palestinian enclave. At least 57,338 Palestinians have been killed in Israel's war on Gaza, which began in October 2023, while at least 135,957 others have been wounded. Israeli attacks have laid waste to Gaza, spurring a dire humanitarian crisis and left the territory on the brink of famine.